There we go. All right, welcome everyone. I'm Corinne. I'm the Director of Outreach and Community with Fighting Pretty. We're so glad that you're here with us tonight for our June Survivors Month Fighting Pretty conversation. Our guest host tonight is Alyssa Kunz. Am I saying your last name correctly, Kunz?
Yes, Kunz. Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. She is an oncology dietitian with us from UT Southwestern. And I'm not going to lie, this is actually a topic that I've wanted Fighting Pretty to talk about for a while because we all know how much what we put into our bodies affects just normal life, and then how much that gets like turned on its head and shaken up and amplified even more during treatment, and then how that shifts after treatment and everything. So I met one of Alyssa's colleagues back when Wendy and I went to the NCOBC conference back in March. And so we were super excited to get connected to their team at UT Southwestern and are really grateful that Alyssa made time to join us this evening. So thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Of course. Thank you so much. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. And like Alyssa mentioned, we want this to be a dialogue, a conversation. So feel free to jump in at any point if you have a question. Misty, be safe while you're driving. But if there's anything that you want to know or want Alyssa to expand on, absolutely feel free to join in.
Okay, so to begin, let me go. So just a little bit about me. So I am who I say I am as a dietitian. I graduated from Texas State University in 2014, and then I did my internship at Medical City Dallas. Graduated that internship in 2016. And then I became a full-time dietitian at a local hospital here in Dallas called Methodist Richardson Medical Center. I was over the whole cancer center for 9 years, and then I had a few units in the hospital as well. And then actually this time last year, a position opened up at UT Southwestern's Cancer Center. So I went for it, I applied and got the job, and I'm loving every minute of being at UT Southwestern. It's just a really big cancer center that I'm really proud to be a part of as well. And then also I do have my CSO, so I am board certified as a specialist in oncology nutrition. And every dietitian that works at UT Southwestern needs to have some sort of certification as well, and at least 2 years of experience. So just no newbies can
Alyssa,
be.
what drew you to being a dietitian initially?
Oh, um, 10th grade health class. It was the only thing that was able to like stick in my brain and like I was really interested in. And then in high school, or Dallas is a little bit different, but when I transitioned to high school with like a junior and senior year, they offered a sports nutrition class. So I took that to make sure it was something I was interested in, and then took anatomy and physiology and knew right away like that's what I wanted to do. So um,
Oh, I love that.
that's the short answer of that. And yeah, nutrition is always changing, and I can't even keep up with it sometimes. Patients are able to tell
Mm.
me more about new things that are coming up and new before we even can get a sense of like what's going on. So, but that's the
Mm.
beauty of nutrition. It's always changing. You always have to kind of keep up on the recommendations and the evidence as well. And then currently, just to briefly mention about UT Southwestern and shine a light on them, they are ranked the 20th in the nation for cancer care. And then UT Southwestern is also a big hospital as well. We're number one in the DFW area and then number two in Texas overall. And then just
Oh, wow.
briefly mentioning about my direct role, we are patient facing. So we do meet with patients one-on-one, either up in infusion and radiation. It could be over on the phone. It could be telehealth. We do a lot of messaging on our electronic health record as well. Oh, someone's here.
Hi,
That's fun.
Val. Welcome.
But one of the biggest things as dietitians working at a cancer center is just like managing symptom side effects of treatment, whether a patient is going under chemo, immunotherapy, radiation, surgery. It's just navigating what symptoms they're dealing with and ensuring that they're getting proper nutrition to support their body through a time of
Mm.
a lot of stress. We also get questions a lot about fad diets trends, about specific supplements. We deal with tube feeding. Parenteral nutrition is just feeding someone through a vein. So that's just kind of like the short and sweet version of what we do. We also help patients who want to lose weight, who want to gain weight as well. So any questions so far? Hi, Valerie. And then, okay, so to begin, I just wanted to kind of throw in a little bit of facts about how important nutrition is. Let me move my screen. So the American Cancer Society estimates that 1/3 of cancer deaths in the US are linked to excess body weight, physical inactivity, alcohol intake, and or poor nutrition. And it's estimated that 40% of all cancer cases can be prevented through proper nutrition. So that's a big chunk of
That's
big percentage.
huge.
So and a lot of times nutrition kind of gets overlooked or people don't realize how important it is until like they get diagnosed and they want to make some changes. And so we do work in the community as well and trying to talk about how important nutrition, exercise, limiting alcohol to patients or to people who don't even have cancer, just so that they're aware of it as well.
Mhm.
So this presentation, I could have gone in so many different routes about nutrition. There's so much to talk about, but specifically I wanted to hone in on the American Cancer Research Group. This is like literally our nutrition Bible. This is kind of what we go off of. And so I wanted just to talk about it as well. The only thing I won't talk about is for mothers breastfeeding your baby if you can. I didn't think that was pertinent to talk about in this class. But just so you know, if you know anyone who's pregnant or currently just gave birth, encouraging them to breastfeed. But other than that, I'll be talking about the rest of the AICR guidelines. So the first one is to how to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. A lot of research and evidence is suggesting that being overweight or obese raises the risk of at least 13 cancers, which include breast cancer, specifically in postmenopausal women, colorectal cancer, endometrial, esophagus, gallbladder, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic cancer, stomach, thyroid, multiple myeloma, and meningioma. So 13, that's a lot. And it also increases your risk for recurrence if you've gone through treatment as well or in the survivorship phase. Some of the risk
And that's also
factors
like a huge variety of different cancer types
all
too.
over,
That's
yeah.
not, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. I don't know if you can read right here, but being physically active reduces the risk of breast, colon, and endometrial cancer. So just any little I'll touch about it in a little bit, but any physical activity is better than nothing at this point. And so there's some ideas of like why being overweight and obese can raise the risk of 13 cancers. And one of the thought processes is high levels of insulin and leptin in the body. And that can promote the growth of cancer cells. So insulin is a hormone that helps bring in sugar into your cell to be used for energy. So after you eat something, your body releases that insulin to bring the sugar into the cells. And then leptin is a hormone that is released after you eat to signal to your brain, like, hey, I'm full, like, stop eating, please. And so over time, though, someone who is obese or overweight, they have high levels. And so this is one of the links that they figured out. And then also fat cells produce an excess amount of estrogen, which we know is known to cause cancer, specifically in breast cancer. Being overweight and obese, your body's in a chronic state of inflammation as well. But the good thing is just losing 5 to 10% of your body weight can really help lower the risk of obesity related to cancers of the 13 I mentioned as well. And can help improve other health issues as well, like heart disease, high cholesterol, diabetes. So there's so much benefit to working out and moving your body as well. So what is a healthy weight? So you probably have seen the BMI, which is what you always go to the doctor, they always tell you your BMI. But the thing about the BMI is it doesn't differentiate between fat and muscle. And muscle weighs more than fat. So if like you have a bodybuilder, physically he looks really he or she looks really in shape, but the BMI probably is going to show overweight or obese, but that's just because muscle weighs more than fat. So instead, I like to tell patients to look more at your waist circumference. This is a better indicator. I'm just moving the screen. You want to measure right about your hip bone. And the goal is for men is under 37 inches and women is under 31.5. So if you're curious and want to know what your waist circumference is, this is a good indicator to tell us where you're at in like a healthy weight range. So then being physically active, the goal is always to move more, sit less. The recommendation for the American Cancer Society is at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. So just walking, maybe cycling, playing pickleball, you want to play tennis if you can, or it is at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise a week. So that's like running, swimming, playing a high intensity like basketball game or something. Or pickleball, honestly, pickleball could be kind of pretty intense too if you play that.
The way some people play it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But for me, like I do sit in an office in a big call center all day with a bunch of people. So sometimes I don't even get up and move if I don't have anyone to go see. So I have to remind myself, oh, I need just to go walk down the hallway and go to the bathroom, or maybe walk to the furthest bathroom to get more steps in. Or, okay, sure, I could take the elevator, but if you're able to take the stairs, try to get the stairs in and just get that body moving. Or walk a little further away at the store. Now, in here in Texas, it's really hot, so maybe I don't want to walk as far in the heat. But so we're depending on where you're at, if you're able to walk a little further, park and then walk would be great. But also just pick activities you have fun. You know, exercise should be fun, not something that you have to do, but you know what you enjoy as well. It could be yoga, it could be bar class, Pilates. It could be watching a YouTube video. It doesn't have to be. I don't even go to the gym. You know, you could do everything at home for free. You know, you can get some dumbbells or resistant bands, and or even like a water jug or canned goods that you can use as like dumbbells instead of oops, my dog's here. Instead of using heavy dumbbells or going to the gym. But when we work with patients, we definitely consider where they're at in their treatment. Are they going through chemo, radiation? Maybe they can't and do as much movement. Maybe the fatigue is really taxing on them. And at the cancer center I work at, we do have an exercise trainer and physical therapy and occupational therapy. So if patients are struggling to move their body, the fatigue or the lymphedema from treatment is really severe, we have avenues for them to go make sure they're working with professionals and get the body moving.
And I know there are a ton of resources available out there for like you know, post-surgery yoga or things like that that aren't going to like pull your incisions or
Right.
you know, there are lots of ways to
Yeah.
do this while in treatment and
Yes.
things.
That's why if anyone on this call or watching, you know, find out if your institution does have an exercise trainer or physical therapy that is usually free if you're a patient. You should be able to be seen with no charge. And then I do get to patients do tell me a lot, well, I can't walk, I can't move my body. I got, you know, I have back surgery, I had neck surgery, I have knee issues, I need like a hip replacement. There's ways to get around it. You can do a ton of chair exercises. I send patients all the time YouTube videos of what to do in a chair. Even just moving your arms up and down while you're sitting or watching TV, or when the commercial comes on, doing some seated leg lifts or arm circles, or moving your arms above your head. So bottom line, get the body moving as best as you can with the abilities that you're able to do. Also, another thing is going to the mall. If you have access to the mall nearby, if you can drive and just go walk inside. Like here in Texas, it's getting hot to walk outside at night. So going to the mall and walking around would be easy too.
I've noticed
Okay.
our local mall even has signs up for like every quarter mile or something like that. They're like, if
Oh,
you
does
start by
it?
this
There
store,
you
you can
go.
tell like, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of cool.
They're like even encouraging it at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so I have my first question for everyone, because now I'm going to get into the nutrition part. So this is the most asked or told thing to dietitians in the cancer world is sugar increases risk by feeding the cancer cells. Is this fact or fiction to all my people on call? Don't be shy.
Fact. Fact.
Okay, one says fact. Yes.
Everything I've seen says fact.
Everything I've seen says fiction.
I'm here to dispel that and tell you that it is fiction. And again, this is like one of the things we have to break down a
I'm
lot
watching
with
the
patients.
breast cancer
Um,
support group thing.
what? Oh, sorry, someone's talking.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Monica?
Oh, I'm sorry. My husband was asking me a question. I thought I was muted.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No problem. All good.
So yes, it is fiction. It's very misleading and a very scare. It's like a fear tactic out there on the internet and AI. But the body and the brain's main source of energy is sugar. Our brain needs at least 130 grams of sugar a day to function at its best. And our body, your body, will break down sugar and carbs into a form called glucose. And sugar does not feed the cancer cells any more than it feeds other cells in the body that needs glucose for energy. Eating sugar will not cause cancer. Eating sugar doesn't make cancer grow faster, or you completely cutting out a significant food group like fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, legumes is not going to stop the cancer from growing. Instead, it's going to increase your risk for malnutrition. And that's really important to try to avoid if you're a patient or you know people going through treatment. That is going to be very taxing on the body. We don't want to cut out a big food group. There's two different types of carbohydrates. There's simple carbohydrates and then complex carbohydrates. Simple is like your white bread, white rice, brownies, desserts, chocolate, sweets. That's what we want to limit the amount of. But again, that doesn't like cause cancer. It can lead to that weight gain, which I mentioned in the first slide, is that obesity and cancer, specifically the fat cells in your midsection, that's been what's linked to the 13 cancers. And then we have complex carbohydrates. So that's whole grain bread, quinoa, barley, flaxseed, hemp seed, nuts, beans. Those provide your body with the needed fiber, vitamins, and minerals that you need at this point in treatment. Or even if you're in survivorship, it's still really important to consume your complex carbohydrates. So I hope this helps a little bit, that sugar is not the enemy at this point.
That's very good to know.
Okay, yeah.
Make sugar safe again.
And it's up to you at this point if you want to like continue on with what you're doing, or at least you can now maybe go tell some people who are telling you that sugar is the devil. It's like it's not the devil.
You named all those foods. Where does sourdough come in there?
Oh yeah, that's a complex carbohydrate as well. Yeah.
So that's the good one.
Kind, Val.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's lower in gluten as well. So people who have celiac disease or gluten intolerance can eat sourdough. It's really important though that you look on the label of the packaging to ensure that
no packaging. I make it myself.
Oh, then there you go. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Yeah, I don't buy any store-bought bread. I haven't bought store-bought bread in 2 years. Okay.
Love it. If you add a little nuts to it or seeds, whatever, just to add some extra fiber, I mean, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yay.
And then talking about natural and added sugars. So the natural sugars are like milk, yogurt, fruits, vegetables, beans. Those are found in more nutritious foods. And then added sugars are what companies add to the product during the process to make it more sweet and palatable. So that it would include like table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, fruit juice concentrates, and honey. Yes, honey is a natural sugar, but we still deem it as an added sugar, and we still want to limit the amount of honey that you're consuming as well. It just can increase your blood sugars and increase your risk for waking over time. So really, we want to limit that added sugar. Don't need to avoid it completely. We always say moderation is key as dietitians, but you want to be choosing more whole grains, fruits, beans, vegetables, and nuts. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on the natural and added sugar as well. So then just another thing that we get told a lot is a bad food is fruits. And people tell me all the time, well, I avoid fruits. And like, that's not what we want to do at any time. Fruits and vegetables have a lot of, again, antioxidants, vitamins, fiber, minerals. They're also low calorie. Because of the fiber content, they keep you fuller longer. So the idea is that you can go longer in between meals and not have that snacky sensation where you want to go eat those chips, cookies, crackers. The minimum goal I tell patients, just as a good, easy goal, is 2 cups per day. 2.5 cups of vegetables is a good starting point. And then just get your fist and just kind of see, when you go to the grocery store, you'll see like really big apples or really big bananas. Just try to get an apple the size of your fist or smaller. That's the goal. And then it is okay to have fruit juice. The serving size is 1/2 cup. But when I'm talking to patients, I have to get an overall picture and like what they're actually consuming with the whole meal as well to see what's going on. You can't have dried fruit. Frozen fruit is totally fine. They actually may have a little bit more nutrients in it because they freeze it at the time of peakness, where if you have fresh fruit and it's sitting in your refrigerator and the counter, it degrades, or it loses its vitamin mineral levels pretty quickly if you don't consume in a certain amount of time. So frozen is okay. The key is to look on the packaging and make sure when you look at the label, the ingredient list, it just says the fruit or vegetable. It doesn't add like any salt, sauces, gravies. We just want blueberries or like strawberries.
Alyssa, this is sort of a random question, but I know like when Kara was on tamoxifen, she couldn't have grapefruit.
Yeah.
And I've always been curious, like, why just grapefruit? Why not other citruses? And what was actually the problem with fruit? Or I don't know if that's relevant.
You can't consume grapefruit with a lot of medications and like immunotherapy and treatment for whatever. It has to probably do something with when it metabolizes in the liver. There's certain enzyme in our liver that I think it inhibits that process. Grapefruit does. And so then these medications like tend to build up in your body and then you can't process and use it correctly. So I think that's probably where high dose, I'll get to it later at the end, but like high dose supplements, like vitamins and minerals, we don't recommend either because I think it inhibits the process of metabolizing that product correctly in your liver. So
interesting.
And grapefruit, I mean, grapefruit probably has like a really long list of foods or of medications and supplements you can't take with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I was like, all right.
I know. But yay research, because that's what helps us figure out that all these interactions as well. So that's what we like.
Right.
Okay, so I want to get a little scientific-y real quick because I wanted to just highlight how many phytochemicals you find in these fruits and vegetables. And I do get asked a lot, like, well, what's one food I could eat? What's one superfood I can have that will like cure my cancer or prevent my cancer from growing? And unfortunately, there's not one specific food that will do that job. But I really wanted to hone in on how great different phytochemicals are in all your fruits and vegetables and really telling you to get the rainbow. Try to eat as many colors as you can to ensure you're getting those different phytochemicals. Like, for example, in cruciferous vegetables or leafy green vegetables, you have isothiocyanates. This helps fight inflammation. It triggers cancer cell death, so like apoptosis, so it just automatically bursts and dies. And then it also neutralizes carcinogens. And carcinogens are substances that are known cancer-causing agents in the body. And then carotenoids. They protect cells from damage from all these carcinogens in the body. Lycopene, specifically for prostate patients, should be consuming lycopene, specifically in tomatoes, twice a week. So if you have any male friends or your husbands or something, tell them to eat lycopene because it reduces your risk for prostate cancer and reduces your risk for recurrence if you already have prostate cancer. And then specifically with tomatoes, you want to add heat to it. So like tomato sauce on the stove or sauteing your tomatoes, it makes that lycopene more bioavailable in the body to be used more effectively.
Oh, nice.
Roasting also?
It's also watermelon season. What?
Can you roast them?
Yeah, roast them is fine too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you may have heard polyphenols. It's found in so many different foods like dark chocolate, coffee, green tea, fruits, vegetables. And then specifically green tea has so many benefits. It specifically has this compound don't ask me how to pronounce it fully, but it's EGCG. It helps decrease tumor growth, again, induce that cell death or apoptosis. It helps decrease tumor spreading. And then additionally, green tea has liver protection, heart protection. There's so many benefits to green tea. You can take it in a pill form. However, again, like there's a lot of interactions with medications and EGCG pills. So if you take warfarin or certain beta blockers or cholesterol medications, do not take an EGCG supplement, but you are allowed to still drink it in the tea form, in the liquid form. That's a safe dose. And the recommendation right now is 3 to 5 cups daily to get those benefits of the EGCG. Any questions so far?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, next question I have for you guys. Fact or fiction, soy increases cancer risk, specifically like breast cancer?
False.
I've seen stuff that says yes, but I'm guessing that you're going to say it's fiction.
It's fiction, yeah.
Woo!
Yay! Whoever answered correctly, good job. So where the confusion came from years ago was that when they were studying mice and rats, there's this compound in soy called phytoestrogen, and the structure is very similar to estrogen, but it's not the same. So that was where the confusion was first. And then researchers figured out that mice and rats digest and metabolize soy very differently than humans, and so then they completely disregarded that research that soy increases your risk for cancer. Instead, what we've been finding out is soy actually helps prevent breast and prostate cancer, specifically, is what we've been seeing as well. It's a great source of protein, fiber, fats, and iron. It is recommended for patients who have breast cancer to consume 1 to 2 servings of soy per day, and then prostate patients 2 to 3 servings per day. I specifically work with prostate patients, and getting them to consume soy is kind of difficult, but something I still tell them to do, that it's okay to have some soy milk or edamame, or a little bit of tofu. That's fine to have. And then Corinne, you mentioned tamoxifen, but soy actually potentially can enhance the effect of tamoxifen. So it's something that when I see a patient on tamoxifen, I encourage more soy in their diet as well. But the key is to avoid soy pills or soy protein isolate until more research is done. So far, what we think is soy pills are just too high doses and can have negative effects on the body. So to be safe right now, we just say no soy pills, but it's still safe to consume soy in a food product or in a whole food. Oops. Okay. Dairy increases cancer risk. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction, correct.
Because that's what I want it to be.
Yeah, yeah. Because you have kids, I'm sure they drink dairy as well. But
yeah.
So it is
like our
fiction.
cheese.
Yeah. Products include milk, cheese, cottage cheese, yogurt, butter, cream. And these are really great foods to get sources of protein and calcium and vitamin D. So if someone is dealing with osteoporosis or osteopenia, they need to increase their calcium and vitamin D. We encourage more dairy products. Or if patients are going through treatment that are having difficulty tolerating like chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, they're having like chewing difficulty too, cottage cheese and yogurt are great protein sources because they're softer, easy to chew, lighter, airy. So we recommend that. And specifically with breast cancer, there's no strong evidence that consuming dairy increases breast cancer risk. In fact, if a pre- and post-menopausal woman, there's limited evidence, but it suggests that if you have a high calcium-rich diet, it decreases your risk. And then I guess I kind of copied the same thing, sorry. Premenopausal women, limited evidence, but suggests consuming just dairy in general decreases your risk. And then with colorectal cancer, we've been seeing research show it decreases the risk possibly due to increasing that calcium content. With my prostate patients, we do suggest calcium-rich diet, but the key is it has to be under 15 milligrams per day. That's the limit that we've been seeing. Anything above it is what was showing increasing your risk for prostate cancer.
Mm.
And then the American Heart Association recommends at least 2 to 3 servings of low-fat, fat-free dairy products. So absolutely, you should be. If you like dairy, definitely consume it. If you are lactose-free, don't like dairy, you can get soy, almond milk. You can get rice milk, oat milk. Just look for products that are unsweetened, because a lot of times those companies will add sweeteners or sugar back into it to make it more palatable and enjoyable. So just watch out for that as well.
With those like alternative milks and things, is the like protein and calcium pretty comparable to regular dairy?
No. I think soy milk, you're quizzing me right now. I think soy milk has a little bit more protein than almond milk. I'd have to go back and double check, but they are a little bit different. And so like if you can get fortified where they add back in vitamin D or calcium into the product, or like vitamin A, you can pick those products.
Gotcha.
Just talking about flax seeds. It has been shown to reduce breast and prostate cancer specifically. They're a great source of omega-3 fatty acids. So if you don't like fish like salmon or mackerel or tuna, incorporate flax seeds into your diet to get that omega-3 fatty acid benefit. It's also a great source of fiber and lignans. Lignin is like a complex carbohydrate as well. Flax seeds also improve insulin sensitivity. So if you're having like pre-diabetes or diabetes and you need to help with your blood sugar, adding flax seeds can help prevent those blood sugar spikes. You want to make sure that it's in a ground form, not the whole form. Ground has been shown to have more benefit. The goal is 1 to 2 tablespoons a day. You can add it to cereals, smoothies, if you make muffins, sprinkle it on yogurt, salads, oatmeal. You don't have to eat it by the spoonful. Incorporate it into your foods to make it more palatable as well. And personally, this is something I've been trying to work on, increasing my flaxseed intake. Because I know how much benefit it is, but I need to do a better job as well.
How do you like to eat it?
I like adding it to oatmeal. I don't usually make smoothies, but if you love making smoothies, just sprinkle in a tablespoon of it. You won't be able to taste it at all. You can always make overnight oats as well and add flax seeds to it as well. Okay, I wanted to throw this one in here. Fact or fiction, organic foods. Organic food has less risk for cancer, or decreases your risk for cancer.
Fact? Fewer chemicals, fewer carcinogens?
You would think, but unfortunately, it's fiction right now.
Just kidding.
I know. The research is too mixed and inconclusive at this time. But for it to be fully organic, you have to see the USDA organic sign or like little sticker on the packaging. So if you are buying organic or want to buy organic, make sure it has this signature sticker on it. It just means that they don't have any synthetic fertilizers, man-made pesticides, doesn't contain any GMO or genetically modified organisms, and like no antibiotics. And so far what we've seen is organic versus conventional is less important than the intake itself. We still want you to consume your fruit and vegetable. Doesn't matter if it's organic or not. That's the most important takeaway, is just getting your fruits and vegetables in. And organic does not always mean healthy. You have to look at the label specifically, because again, companies may add in extra fat, sugar, salt, it could be higher in calories. So you really have to be a detective and look at the nutrition facts label to see what is all in that organic product. And then also, if you buy organic fruits or not, you just have to wash it with water. There's no special chemical you need to get to wash your fruits and vegetables. Just water will do the job. Oops, sorry. Artificial sweeteners increases cancer risk.
You got me thinking. I want to say fact, but now you're making me think, given the trend that we're looking at fiction.
Right now it's fiction, yes. So they're chemically created substances that are used instead of table sugar to sweeten drinks and products. The good thing about artificial sweeteners is that it does not affect blood sugar levels. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, these are a great alternative. And then they also provide very little nutritive values, like little to 0 calories in artificial sweeteners. There's only 6 approved by the FDA: saccharin, aspartame, ACE-K, sucralose, neotame, and advantame. The last 2 I'm not even really familiar with. I don't really see them that often. But the one I kind of wanted to spotlight a little bit was aspartame. So the IACR, which is the International Association of Cancer Registries, has deemed aspartame like a possible carcinogen and might cause cancer based on limited evidence. So right now, more evidence is being done to figure out if aspartame does cause cancer. It's okay to still consume, but like in very small amounts. So instead, we always tell patients to do like monk fruit, stevia, truvia. Those are better alternative artificial sweeteners. No other sweeteners, though, are classified as carcinogens, which again means they are cancer-causing agents. And any of the previous cancer scares that were linked to artificial sweeteners has since been discredited. So artificial sweeteners too are like a good segue for someone who has been consuming a lot of soda, regular soda, or adding honey or sugar to their foods to make it more palatable. Artificial sweeteners, again, are like a good little bridge to get you off of it, because it still provides that sweetness in your mouth, but eventually we still want to reduce your artificial sweetener intake. So if anyone like really drinks a lot of diet soda, still watch how much you're drinking too and be aware of it as well. I'm sure there's a lot of Diet Coke fans out there, or Diet Pepsi or something like that. Okay to have, just in moderation too.
Not me.
Okay, good.
I don't even drink soda at all, so.
Good. Perfect. And then I wanted to talk about coffee, because I've randomly been getting this recently, but right now the evidence does not show causes cancer, and instead may help reduce your risk for specific cancers such as the liver, endometrial, prostate, mouth, and colon cancer. And where I think the confusion or the scare came from is that coffee contains acrylamide, but we don't consume enough coffee to like warrant that scare, or like that risk of acrylamide building up in the body. Most people typically on average drink 3 cups a day. And then the protective effects are with 2 to 4 cups of coffee a day. The key is like what you put in your coffee, though, is what gets people in trouble, because you add like the creamers, the whipped cream, the, I don't know, extra syrups they add to it. So that's where coffee then becomes more of like a sweet treat, because you're adding in all that extra fat and calories and sugar at that point. And then
How about tea?
same with like if you like matcha tea or
I actually, my grandkids call them sticks and stones. I have natural tea.
like, give me an example, like sweetened tea or
No, like I make my own tea bag thing.
Oh yeah.
With sticks, with the little sticks and the little granules.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As long as you're just not adding like a ton of sugar cubes to it, or
No, I have a little sugar with it, but not much.
Okay, good. As long as you're aware of it, what you're adding to it. Yeah. But
Okay.
We get a lot of patients that want to lose weight, and then we figure out through their dietary recall that they're consuming a lot of high sugary like beverages, and coffee could be a culprit. And so I just wanted to point that out.
The venti frappuccinos every day or stuff like that. Yeah.
And then if you like decaf, or you have like GI sensitivity that you can't have the regular caffeine, but decaf is what you like, still showing some cancer protective benefits as well. Okay, seed oils. This is another hot topic right now. Has anyone heard about seed
Yeah,
oils?
Yeah, they're bad.
everywhere lately.
Yeah,
Bad.
I'm here to defend seed oils. They're getting a really bad rap, and it's been taken out of context, so I just kind of wanted to talk about it here. I think the most common seed oil you may know about is canola oil or corn oil. But cottonseed, soybean, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed are all seed oils as well. The good thing about seed oils is that it provides an essential nutrient in your body called linolenic acid. So it's an omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acid that our body cannot produce on its own. It needs to come from a third, like a source. If you consume really low amounts of linolenic acid, it can cause a lot of skin issues like dry skin, hair loss, and even stunted growth in children. So one thing about seed oils is it does have the linolenic acid that our body does need. There's been a lot of research to show that helps lower your cholesterol levels, helps reduce heart disease in general when you consume these seed oils like canola oil instead of butter or beef tallow. And then right now, research has not shown any proven inflammation risk, because I think what people were getting at was like it's an omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acid. And you've heard so much about how you need to increase your omega-3 fatty acids. And they thought that that ratio was getting out of whack or off balance. But right now, again, these seed oils do not cause inflammation in the body. We want to avoid the hydrogenated or processed oil. So like high fructose corn syrup, for example. That's what we want to avoid. And so it's okay to have seed oils in moderation. And what we want to look more at the bigger picture, because these seed oils typically are found in ultra processed foods. And we're not looking at the whole picture of those foods, where it contains a lot of added sugar, it contains a lot of extra salt, they've added some extra fat into it. And so those are more of the culprits for like heart issues, diabetes, weight gain, not specifically the seed oil. And I think people have taken it out of context and like ran with it with seed oil instead of not zooming out and seeing the bigger picture of the ultra processed foods that people are consuming. Any questions so far about seed oils?
No.
I've had to do more research too and kind of brush up on it, because it has become a really hot topic. Me and my fellow dietitians have gotten a lot of, but here to tell you, you cook with canola oil, you know, still safe. It's actually, we do need that linolenic acid in our diet.
So canola would be better than a vegetable. I don't fry anything, so I don't
Right.
use oil. I use olive oil if I use it for anything.
Olive oil is still like one of the top tier oils we recommend.
Okay, got it. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. But canola oil is like a second one, like when, yeah.
Okay.
Or sunflower, safflower. So I wanted to show you the AICR's recommendation of like what a typical plate should look like, so you visually can see it. You may have also heard about my plate. But half your plate should be fruits and vegetables, and then the other half should be a third of like your carbohydrate and a third of your protein.
Yep.
This is what we, again, patients who are wanting to eat a little bit healthier, help lose weight, we kind of, again, hone in on what a typical plate in their mind looks like. So I gave you 2 examples so you guys can tell me which one would you pick. Anyone left or right? Which one would you, if you had the option of 2 or put in front of you, based on what I've been kind of telling you about fruits and vegetables, half your plate should be fruits and vegetables.
Left.
Why, Valerie?
I mean,
Because you've got all the green vegetables, you got strawberries, you have just a little bit of rice and a piece of protein. A small
Yeah,
piece
I
of
threw-
protein the size of your fist, approximately.
Perfect. I threw in the other photo because it does show you half your plate is vegetables, and then you have a little patty. But then I wanted you to recognize that it has some like cake and fries, and those are more of the
Yeah.
simple carbohydrates I talked about instead of the complex carbs, which on the left-hand side you could see it's like brown rice or quinoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Number 4 for the AICR guidelines is avoiding sugary drinks and limiting consumption of those energy-dense foods like desserts, candy, sweets, chocolate, like milk chocolate. And for women, the recommendation is 6 teaspoons or less. Excuse me. Or 25 grams. And the only way you would know is like if you put it in an app to tell you how much you're eating, or when you look at the label of the product, you scroll over to the added sugar line. Ideally, you want it like under 6, 7. You want to keep it very low. Because now the nutrition facts label, they have to tell you how much added sugar is in a product now. But because before,
So you're saying,
huh?
so you're saying 6 teaspoons is okay a day?
Yeah, a day.
Wow, I consume much less than that, so
Yeah,
I'm
good.
happy. I'm like,
This is
6
from
teaspoons.
specifically the American Heart Association I took from, what they're
Okay.
recommending, yeah. And men can have a little bit more. I don't know off the top of my head what the average American consumes, but it's probably like 3 times as much as that.
Wow, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying anything over here, but
Again, moderation is key. It's totally fine. If you have one day
Yeah.
where you're a little bit higher, that's fine. You want to look at the overall picture of your diet. Switching gears to meat. So the IACR, the International Association of Cancer Registries, has deemed processed meat as a human carcinogen, so it's known to cause cancer.
Lunch meat. Yeah.
Lunch meat,
Yeah.
bologna, deli meat, hot
Yep.
dogs, sausages, recommends to not consume it at all. And then for red meat specifically, the goal is under 18 ounces per week for red meat.
I don't eat red meat.
So that's like beef, pork, veal, lamb, goat.
Isn't pork white meat?
No, it's still a red meat.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay.
That's interesting because I've always thought of it as a
Mhm.
white meat, like a chicken
Yeah,
breast
that's
or
like the
something.
running joke, but we still consider it a red meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So that
Yeah.
was just like a whole marketing ploy, like the other
Yeah.
red meat, but they lied.
Exactly. So thank you
Yes.
for clarifying that.
Mm-hmm. And Valerie was right. The serving size should be the palm of your hand. Everyone's going to have a different size, but that's like the goal. So when you put your palm down, you should see what the size should be like. And specifically what we know is high intake of red meat and processed meats as linked to increased risk for colorectal cancer. And we're seeing it in younger people. Even in the clinic, we're seeing a lot younger, like 20s, 30s people coming with colon cancer.
Yeah.
And some possible causes, our gut microbiome changes when we consume. If someone's consuming a high intake of red meat and processed meats, the gut microbiome converts the protein into what's called like free radicals, like little dangerous things in the gut that damages your healthy cells and makes them not stable. And then also, if you have seen nitrate and nitrite on the packaging, you want to look for nitrate free. Those 2 words are also carcinogens. The preservatives that are added to the product to help shelf stable, making it longer and last longer in the freezer or on the shelf. And then also, well, I'll just go here. I'll just go to the next one because this is also I wanted to talk about. Charred meat increases your risk for cancer.
Yes.
Fiction.
It is fact.
Yeah.
That's another
You should never char your meat.
Yeah. Cooking meats at high temperatures, even pan frying it, grilling, creates these products, heterocyclical amines, polycyclic hydrocarbons. Those specifically are to be found carcinogens as well. So how do we reduce your risk when you grill?
Roast it.
We still like grill, roasting,
I'm
using,
roasting chicken right now,
oh
actually.
yeah, yeah. Using indirect heat. So instead of putting it directly on the flame, move the meat, chicken, fish, whatever off of it. So let it indirectly heat it up, or constantly flipping it back and forth to prevent those charred lines. And then if you see any charred parts, cut it off. That's the bad part. And then also I tell patients to try to use citrus-based marinades because citrus products have antioxidants in it that can like offset those dangerous carcinogen compounds in the meats. So using a citrus like orange, lemon, lime.
So Alyssa, here's a question. My husband loves to smoke meats.
Yeah.
Is that better because it's like a low and slow heat source, or is it worse because it's sitting in the smoke?
It's still charred.
It's still charred. Yeah. Yeah. We still want to.
Okay.
So you have it like once a week, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you're having it multiple times a week, I tell you to like significantly reduce it as best as possible. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or again, if you see any charred parts, just cut it off. Those are always like the burnt parts when you go to barbecue store, like those are like the best parts, but the worst for you. Especially down here in Texas for barbecue.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not very popular when you get to that part of the coaching sessions.
Especially because like my prostate men love grilling and eating red meat, and like they're the meat potato guys, so that's a lot of
sorry guys,
meeting them halfway at least. So how do I reduce my red meat? Maybe you have family members that eat a ton of red meat. So just discuss how much. Multiple times a day, like lunch and dinner, try to reduce it to once. Instead of a double patty, choose single patty. I get a lot of bacon people here in Texas, so like trying to just choose fewer slices of bacon. Looking at your portion size, again, using the palm as a reference. Swapping ground beef with like ground turkey or chicken, or if the patient or you guys are not fully ready to convert over to ground chicken or turkey, buy both, like half a pound, and then use half and half of each. When you cook them together, you really can't tell you're having ground turkey or chicken if like the texture or taste is something you don't like. And adding more plant-based proteins, adding more beans, lentils, quinoa. Like I make chili or saute some ground chicken and I add a bunch of beans to it, and to it bulks up the content. It makes you feel fuller longer. It's also a great protein source and iron source as well. So, you probably heard of meatless Mondays. Try to incorporate more plant-based proteins into your diet as well. Switching gears to alcohol. We do know alcohol is a carcinogen as well. Alcohol itself is ethanol, and then when you drink it, it goes through your liver. It creates this byproduct called acetaldehyde, which is also a carcinogen. So while your body is actively trying to get rid of the alcohol, it's creating this byproduct sitting in your body that increases your risk for cancer. I think the new recommendations is I think it just says like to limit alcohol in general, but we still try to go by the old USDA guidelines of like 2 drinks per day for men and 1 drink for women. And then over time, high consumption just damages those cells, makes them unstable, and increasing your cancer risk as well. If you do drink alcohol, again, like watching your serving size, 12 ounces of beer, 8 ounces of liquor, 5 ounces of wine. I think 1.5 shots. So just being cognizant of what you're doing, because you could see in this picture, it's associated with mouth cancer, throat cancer, esophagus cancer, breast cancer specifically, and colon and rectal cancer as well. I'm sure you've heard about what, Valerie?
So if you don't drink,
don't start. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't drink any alcohol, so I'm like,
Good.
hey.
Because I know women, we get asked a lot from the women that, well, red wine, is good for your heart, or like it has some good properties. But
No.
while there's more research that needs to be done for healthy heart and wine, and like the resveratrol specifically in it, for cancer purposes, we just recommend across the board, don't drink if you don't drink,
Right.
or limit the amount you're drinking as well. Mm. And then limit consumption of salty foods and foods with that are processed with a ton of salts. The US guideline, the USDA says under 2,300 milligrams of salt. I think the average American gets like over 3,000 a day. And I wanted to show like the 6 salty foods: soups, cold cuts, cured meats, again, like the nitrite, they add to it. Pizza, it's from the dough. I'm watching a lot of the bread and rolls that you consume. They typically add a lot of salt as well. I like to tell people, when you look at the nutrition facts label, go and look at the sodium level, the sodium line, sorry, and we want it to be under 140 milligrams per serving size, or under 10% of your daily value. So that's kind of like a goal, or like something to look for when trying to look for these products, because you'll see, 20% less salt or 30% less salt in the packaging. You have to be, again, your own detective, and you have to go look at that label, and you have to go read and see if it's under 40 milligrams, because these products, these companies can get away with a lot. So you have to really look at the nitty gritty on the label.
If they say 20% less, but it's still 200 milligrams, that's not doing you any good.
To them it's less than what they were doing before,
right?
But
than what it used to
us,
be, but still not good.
Yeah. And then you also want to look, like, if it's like, for example, chips, like maybe it's 10 chips for 140 milligrams, or you get 5 chips. Like, is it, you have to look at how much you're actually getting as well, the serving size.
I actually looked into chips, and Utz brand is the one that has the least amount of salt.
Which one, Valerie?
Utz. UTZ. UTZ.
Oh, okay. I'll go look. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at like Lay's, even Lay's low salt has more salt than Utz.
Oh, okay. I'll look at where are you from, Valerie? Where are you living?
Rhode Island.
Okay. I'll go look at our stores here and see if we have Utz here in Texas. Okay. Fun. Okay, I think this is my last question for you guys, and then you're free. True or false? All supplements such as vitamins, herbs, minerals are good for you. True or false?
No, false.
False, because there's so little oversight in those, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
And supplements have a lot of fillers.
It is not regulated by the FDA. I can create a product and put it on the market and call it a vitamin, and someone's going to buy it, but with no efficacy or third-party testing. So actually 64 to 81% of cancer survivors are known to consume some sort of diet supplement. And there's so much on the market that considers a dietary supplement, but they are not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent diseases, or cure cancer as well. So it's really important to be cautious of what you're taking, because if you're on chemo or immunotherapy, there's a ton of supplements that interact with the effectiveness of your treatment. And so that's something I always ask my patients when I'm talking to them for the first time, is what supplements are you on? And making and encouraging them to stop if they're already taking high doses as well. Like, for example, across the board, we say no vitamin C supplement in high dose and no vitamin E supplement. That's something we tell people right off the bat, like, no. And it's okay to have it in the dose of the multivitamin, though, just not in these high dose pills specifically. And then what time is it? Okay. So real quick, I think this is my last slide, basically. So I threw a bunch of information at you, and you may be thinking like, oh my God, I want to make some changes, but I don't know how to go about it. Maybe I do want to eat more fruits and vegetables, but like, where do I begin? And so I like to go over the SMART goal. We want to be very specific. It's measurable, it's attainable, that you can do it, it's realistic, and it's timely. So you may say, yeah, I want to eat healthier, I want to add more vegetables to my diet. But instead of just saying that in a large overarching goal, let's be more specific and say, okay, I'm going to add one vegetable to my diet by eating it at lunchtime. Very specific, it's measurable, it's attainable. Give yourself like a couple weeks, reassess, like, is this something I've now been doing consistently where I don't have to think about it? I just put the vegetable in my lunch, or I bring it to work and I have a snack, like a baggie of celery or bell peppers. Then great, that's becoming more of a habit at that point, and then set a new goal or reassess if you're having issues, like where's the barrier, what can we do to help improve that goal and you be successful on it. So hopefully you leave here, you're thinking about some things and make a SMART goal. And then, so again, threw a lot at you, but I wanted to summarize, just eat your fruits and vegetables, try to get your plant protein, reducing your red meat, processed meat, or limiting the processed meat altogether. Little to no alcohol, increasing your whole grains, quinoa, brown rice, whole grain bread, limiting that added sugar or simple carbohydrates as best as you can, and then get moving, move the body. You'll feel a lot better. It helps with fatigue. It helps with a lot of symptoms and side effects of treatment as well. If you go to your institution, find out if there is physical therapy or, again, like an exercise trainer that is available to you to help if you don't know where to begin with exercise as well. Okay, that's it. Any questions? You guys have been very, very great, very engaged, so I appreciate it.
So it sounds like a lot of what you've been going through is really like use your common sense and everything in moderation. Like,
if I
be
could have
smart
a
about what you're
slogan, like a
eating and
tattoo or
the
something
amounts of
that's
it.
saying, yeah, moderation is key. Yeah. Again, I just brushed the surface. I just went over some things that I see. There's still a ton more about like specific diets, trends that we get asked about a lot. So if you have any questions that you don't want to talk about here on the Zoom class, you can always message Corinne, and then she can get in touch with me and I can help you as well. But yeah, Corinne, you summarized it pretty well. Like, everything in moderation, be aware. No one's perfect. Well, maybe Valerie is, not joking.
No,
She's doing
no.
pretty damn good, that's for sure.
No, Valerie, you get A+. Like, you're doing better than me, like A+. Yeah.
I've just learned a lot in my years, and Corinne knows. I was diagnosed in 2014, and they gave me 3 to 5 years to live. In July 11th, it'll be 12 years.
That's awesome.
So the life changes that I made and things that you said, I was like jumping in because I'm like, yes, I do that. Yes, I do that. And I promote that to people all the time.
Good.
Like, I'm doing a fundraiser this weekend. In fact, there's my bucket of bracelets right there. I just detailed. But even like at my fundraisers for Fighting Pretty, I endorse all of this, all of it. Like,
Great.
eat healthy, pay attention. I'm like, stop eating the foods inside that building behind me. I don't eat the boxed rice. I don't eat any of that stuff. I make all of it myself. So I stay away from a lot of those things that will bring me back to a treatment,
And if anyone listening has like been iffy about the stuff I've been talking about, Valerie is living proof that you make some changes, it really can help you longevity and health wise as well. So
yeah. And even one thing at a time. I didn't change everything at once.
Right.
I changed things as I learned them. I learned about, oh, wow, if I just take this out of my diet and I change this, or I do this, or I change that, like I said, I haven't bought bread at the store for over 2 years. I make my own sandwich bread. I make sourdough, bagels, English muffins. I make my own preserves. I make my own peanut butter now. I'm making my own toothpaste. Okay, I literally just got the rest of the stuff to make my own toothpaste.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
because toothpaste has fluoride, and fluoride seeps into your body so fast, and it's so bad for you. So I'm making it. I even bought natural bubblegum flavor because I'm making it for my grandkids.
Hmm.
I got to get the fluoride out of them before they have it too long. You know what I mean?
I know. Wow. Can you come cook for me down in
Yes.
Texas? Yeah.
Yes. If I'm ever in Texas, I'm gonna hit you up and knock on your
Okay,
door.
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "Where do you live,
Or,
girl?" Because
oh, if you want to share your recipes with Corinne, like,
yeah, well,
your,
they're not. I mean, I don't share my recipes, but I share my dishes on Facebook. But yeah, I
yeah.
absolutely can. I can share my bread, my bagels, my English muffins, everything.
Yeah, email it over, Val.
I promote it. And I mean, even if you guys want some sourdough starter, I've dehydrated some starter. So if anybody wants any, I'll send it to you and you can
Oh, you're
start your
so
journey.
nice.
Yeah, you can start your journey. And this starter that I have is actually from a well-known chef that was on like those shows like Top Chef and stuff. I met this chef and he gave me some of this starter, and this starter was from Italy and is a 400-year-old starter. Like this has
Whoa.
been going from
Ooh.
generation to generation. So I'm keeping this starter going. So I'm really
Yeah, you're
excited to,
nurturing it.
like, I make more. I have so much, I dehydrate it. I have a whole jar of dehydrated. And I mean, you need like 10 grams. That's all you need, 10 grams to start your own whole journey.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. Well, I now know who to go to.
yes, yes.
Right?
I mean,
She's amazing.
private message me your address. I'll ship you some
Nice.
dehydrated starter. Anybody on here, I'm telling you, just yeah, connect with me. I mean, I'll send you starter. I would love to promote my journey with you guys with that.
I think you're a great advocate. I know, like hearing from you, it gives patients the encouragement to make some
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do. I try to promote the positivity, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. My primary
Mhm.
care physician, he tells me all the time, he's like, I don't know what you're doing. He's like, but just keep doing it. He's like, whatever you're doing the right thing. He's like, because he goes, girl, he goes, you shouldn't even be here right now. I'm like, I know,
It's
and I
hard to argue
am,
with
and
that.
I'm still kicking butt.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, you are.
yep. I mean,
I love that.
I mean,
Are you working
yeah.
out? Are you exercising?
I walk my dog. I had two dogs, but I
Okay.
just recently had my dog pass, my female. Very upsetting. Um, but I walk my dog much as I can because I had strokes also, so I do have a hard time walking long distances, which he doesn't walk long distance anyway, so that helps me. Um, but it's hard. I have to make sure I'm in a neighborhood where I can grab onto a fence because sometimes I need to use a cane. Like when I go to the grocery store, I park where I can see a carriage and I can grab right away. But I mean, I do. I try to do as much as I can, and I'm back and forth in my apartment making bread, kneading dough. So I'm
You're
using my
still
upper,
right.
you
Exactly.
know.
You're still
She's
physically moving
definitely
your
not a
body. Yeah,
sedentary
good. You're
woman.
doing, yeah, you're
Yeah.
not sitting there, you're using your upper body. So great. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
so
I
nice
mean, what
meeting you
on
too.
this
Yeah.
on this on this Zoom, I just did all these bracelets. Oh, can
Oh,
you see
wait,
them?
You're so
it's because your
amazing, Val.
background, we saw it briefly, your background cuts it out.
I don't know why.
You have a very
Why
pretty
did you do that?
background.
Okay,
Yeah,
see
yeah,
all the
there you
Oh,
go.
bracelets?
there you go.
All
Yeah.
right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So, well, they were supposed to be in last week, and my next fundraiser is this weekend. So I just sat here while we were doing our Zoom, and I just undid 250 of them.
There you go.
Good
I'm glad you
job.
tuned
Well
in.
done.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Upper arm strength, right there.
There you
Undo,
go.
undo.
Alyssa, I had one trend question for you. So
Yeah.
right now my feed is being flooded with all of those different like hydration sticks. And is
Oh,
there like real value to those? Are there certain ingredients to look for or watch out
wait,
for?
hydration
Things like
stick, do
that?
you mean like liquid IV or drip drop or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
We do recommend if you're not physically super active where you're sweating a ton, then do the sugar-free one. And we do recommend to our patients to have one like low sugar, sugar-free electrolyte packet a day to help maintain their hydration, prevent dehydration, and then also a little extra electrolytes can help with bowel movements to help with constipation as well. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
one a day is fine. You don't need to have like 2 or 3 of it because at that point, your sodium probably is going to meet that 2,300 milligram limit anyway. So just one a day is fine. If, like, for example, your kids, like if they're not physically working out or exercising a ton, that they need that sugar to help bring in the electrolytes into the cell, just the sugar free. Same with Gatorade. Gatorade 0, Powerade 0. But if it's an athlete or you're running and you need that electrolyte, then you need the sugar. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah,
I have
that's
a
great.
little,
Thank you.
I have a little trick that I learned, and you can tell me if
Mhm.
it is actually valid. I actually, for hydration, I actually put a tiny piece of Celtic salt under my tongue. I let it melt, and then I drink 6 ounces of water. And I noticed my hydration is so much better. I used to have alligator skin, like literally. I used to go to the dermatologist, and she's like, "Girl, do you use cream after you shave?" And I'm like, "This is just the way it is." You know, you take your socks off, and it's like dandruff because my legs were so dry. Now, no longer.
Okay.
So I just used a little bit of Celtic salt under the tongue, and then I drank my
The water
water.
right away. Okay.
Yeah. And it actually, I have noticed a difference.
Okay, awesome. That's good to hear from other people with it. It's working for them.
Yeah. And it helps with headaches
Okay.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
But I had to start using
Mhm.
the salts for and hydration things and everything because I was getting headaches like 4 days a week,
Yeah.
and it was.
Yeah.
And I
My
drink
daughter
like 80
suffers.
ounces of water, so
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe,
My
and
daughter.
were you peeing a lot?
yeah. So it was just
So you
flushing
were just
straight
going
through.
through. So yeah, you do need that
Yeah.
one packet of
Yeah.
electrolytes at least. Yeah. To help maintain
Yeah.
that in your body.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Were the slides
Well,
going to be
I want to be.
available?
Oh, I did make some changes, Corinne, just